Steve Evans, 3 wins from 3 and through to the next round of the League Cup. Is this the perfect start to the season for you?
Yeah, well, it's ticked all the boxes, hasn't it, Alfie? We spoke before Northampton. We spoke about 0 goals against as an objective. We set another objective for the boys to score a goal, to get a point, to get 3 points. We've done that on our first day. We then faced some really good opposition, and since then, Watford and Shrewsbury and Cambridge, all tough opponents. Fine margins in each of those games, but it's been a competent start. Yeah.
Are the lads surprising you, or is this expected to see from them?
Listen, is that a surprise? In many respects, no. We've got good players. We know we've probably not played, you would call the big elite teams in League One. We've not faced those the Derby counties, the Barnsleys, the Charltons, the Portsmouths, the Peterboroughs. Some really big clubs in this league. So every week we see this as a challenge, and none more so than when we go to Reading on Saturday.
Yeah, you mentioned the big clubs. Reading, they don't get much bigger than Reading in this league. It's a different test altogether as opposed to opening a few games of the season.
Yeah, very much so. A former top level club, good manager with a great track record. They've had some issues, but they tended to be last season. I think they're sorting themselves out quickly now. I spent a lot of time many years ago living close to Reading, living in London, but watching a lot of Reading games. I knew some of the playing staff there and some of the coaching staff. And of course, I had an affinity there with Pollins, was there, of course, as well, who's a best friend of mine. So I know it very well. I know what it'll take to go there. And first and foremost, we need to produce a good performance to leave Reading with anything adding to our points tally. But it'll be a tough day, but we're planning and working on it as we should have been from the minute we left Cambridge.
And we went there last season in the League Cup and won, but a lot's changed at Reading since then. They will have a different 11, but some of the squad will have already won there, and that must be a positive for them.
Yeah, very much so. We went down to play them in the Carabao last year. I think in fairness to both managers, both Insee and myself, we made changes, as you know, but we tend to do that now anyway. We've done it last season. We'll continue to do it. I don't think there'll be far too many changes in the Reading camp from the last couple of games. Maybe the odd tweak, the odd signing. But as we prepare every week, we obviously educate ourselves and the players about the opposition. But it's more important what we do that will be the deciding factor on the day.
And obviously, confidence must be high at the training ground, but they're still grounded. And you could even see that when Cambridge equalised on Tuesday night, they still thought they were going to win the game.
Yeah, listen, I think dressing rooms are a special place, aren't they? And I think a manager like myself has a lot of experience of the game. You get a gut feel whether you've got a really good dressing room. I'm not often in it. Match day is probably only day a minute. But you get to know the characters, the leaders. We felt it was special when we built it 2 years ago, just over a year ago, in fact, in the summer. And then we knew that we were moving on some big characters out of that dressing room. But equally, part of our recruitment model is not just about whether they can play football. That's number one, of course, and how good they are and whether they would fit what we want to do. But we probably do more background checks. And when I say background, about character checks within a team setting. And it's fair to say so far what our checks that we've done and the references that we've taken have all stood up.
And those checks seem to be working so far, because it seems like you've got 11 captains on the pitch at one time.
Yeah, there's plenty of communication. There's plenty of banter, as you can imagine. But from last year, we keep our training ground and dressing room very much on a level. We don't get carried away when we win. We're not one of those teams who's ranting and raving and screaming going down the tunnel that we endured, I think, 3 or 4 times last year when we lost. We got it, and those teams are still in the bottom half of League Two, but they think they're doing great. So from our point of view, we'll remain humble. We'll remain knowledgeable about the size of clubs that we take on, especially now in League One, and we'll remain focused on the objectives that our chairman sets us.
And how are energy levels in the squad? The players seem to be given everything and more at the moment.
Oh, great. The boys will bounce in today. We'll train properly today. Again, tomorrow, we're a very fit group. We've done a lot of walking. in the summer on that. We still continue to do it. I'm not a believer that we mollycoddle players or whatever it's called. You know, we of course we look after lads that are perhaps feeling it, but we've got not the biggest group in the world in terms of available, but we got 16, 17 players fighting for a shot at Reading on Saturday, and the place is very much alive, which is great.
And just last one from me, how are the injured lads? Obviously, Luther missed Tuesday night, but will there be any returns on Saturday?
Well, I think, you know, with Luther, there's always a chance in it because he's an incredibly fit boy. We'll see how he is tomorrow. If he's not tomorrow, we'd be very hopeful for a week on Saturday, because obviously we have a free midweek. You know, Dan Sweeney and Listy and Harry are getting there now very quickly. And I'll just finish on that by saying congratulations to Harry, who's become a dad to a little boy. And we look forward to seeing Harry back in here tomorrow. So to Harry and the family, congratulations on behalf of all of us. And we'll see you soon, son.